So really, guys, today we're gonna like focus and really hone in on three-way messages. And so I think sometimes if you're a new consultant, that can sound a little freaky, and you're like, "What does that mean? What does that look like?" If maybe you're even a seasoned consultant, sometimes we have a fear or a hesitation of like, do I need someone's help? Like, I've been doing this long enough, am I supposed to utilize someone's help? And so I really want you guys to understand that this is just a really easy, flexible method, and it's just another way to create another exposure. And so if you're new in Arbonne, you need to know that it takes people multiple exposures to say yes, to sign up and join your business, to do the 30 days to healthy living, to try the RE9 skincare. Odds are they're probably not just going to say, yeah, sign me up for whatever you're asking them to do right out of the gate. Odds are they're going to need maybe a video. They're going to need an in-person meeting to attend. They're going to need, a personal touch from someone that who's been doing the business longer than 30 days. Odds are they need exposure after exposure after exposure. And so on my team, and what I help my team and I do is to make this happen really quickly. And so whether you're brand new or whether you've been doing this a little bit longer, it's always good to use third-party validation. And I remember in the very beginning of my business, we would always do this three-way phone calls. But today, because of technology and how much things have advanced, I really want you guys to just be flexible about your methods. And I want you guys to know and understand that this can take place in via texting. And if you're going to text, I say send voice messages as much and as often as possible. It can take place in little 15-second video messages. It can take place in FaceTime, phone calls. It can take place in Facebook Messenger. But how do you go about that? And when is the time to really pull the trigger and set that into motion? And what I always say, especially if you're new, is to do it sooner rather than later. So what I like to help people on my team do is send the initial message, and I'm just going to go with the business here because we should all lead with the business, and it's just easier to stay on one track instead of talking about multiple different outlets. So you're leading with the business, you're reaching out about the business, you are complimenting that person, letting them know why you thought about them or what you see in them that is unique and great. And then you're saying like, have you ever heard of Arbonne? I have this amazing opportunity. It's completely changed my life. If you're new and you're like, but it hasn't changed my life yet, you say, I know someone who's going to teach me how to replace my income. I think you would be great at this. If I send you a video, would you watch it? And we always lead with a video. So we send a video first. After the video occurs and takes place, the next step is getting them into a three-way group message with me or whoever their upline is. So for a lot of people, I'm their direct upline. If you're an area manager, then I suggest that you have the people on your team put prospects into a three-way group message with you, if you're at least an area manager or above. And so what they say in order to initiate that is they're like, usually someone will respond back about the video. Oh my gosh, that was so awesome. That was so inspiring. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm a little bit curious. I would like to know more. As soon as they say something positive, they indicate they would like to know more. The very next step is, great, I would love to give you some more information. I'm going to add you to a three-way group message with my friend Whitney. She's been doing this business, and they'll give a little bio. She's been doing Arbonne for 4 years. She's replaced her nursing income. You're going to love her. She's so sweet. And that's really important that you add that about whoever you're putting into the three-way group message. So if you're adding someone, a prospect, into a three-way group message with your area manager, you need to say, oh my gosh, I'm going to add you. You say it, you're direct. I'm going to add you to a three-way group message with my friend Kelly. She's amazing. She's been doing this business for X, Y, and Z. She's super sweet. You're going to love her. And the reason that you're building up the person that you're putting them into a three-way group message with is because you want this to be fun and inviting and warm and welcoming and not overbearing and intimidating. Don't use words like, I'm going to add you into a group message with my sponsor. I'm going to add you into a group message with my mentor. I'm going to add you into a group message with my leader. Things like that tend to freak people out. So just make sure that we're all friends here, like Akuma Matata, right? You're like, this is my buddy. She's going to teach you the ropes just like she taught me. And so when you get into that three-way group message, again, be super flexible. You guys, my style may not be your style. I have 4 children. They're under the age of 7. I constantly look like this, wearing a hat. So I'm not the first person to say, yeah, I'll FaceTime you right now. It depends on the day of the week, if my kids are in school, if not, but I use voice messages all the time. So my team constantly puts me in three-way group messages, and I prompt them. They'll like private message me and they're like, hey, I started a three-way group message. What do I say? And so I always have them do a little introduction. So if I was adding a prospect into a group with Beth, I would start off the message and I would say, hey, Beth, this is my sweet friend, Amy. Amy just checked out a video. She's a little bit curious about what it is that we do. I was telling her that you've been in Arbonne for X amount of years and that you're at the top of this company. Would you mind to just share a little bit with us? And so as the mentor, as the leader, as the person who's sharing, so then Beth would come on and say, yeah, Whitney, I would love to tell you a little bit more about Arbonne. So I've been building this business for whatever. And so I like to keep those voice messages to like 1.5 to 2 minutes. And I tell them my story passionately, with excitement, with enthusiasm. And then I'll end and I'll say, I have no idea what you know about Arbonne or why you're interested in doing this, but please tell me a little bit more about you and how I can help answer any questions you have. So they're not necessarily asking for my story, but I'm giving them a quick highlight anyway, because I want to intrigue them. I want to create curiosity. I want them to be like, dang, this is awesome. I want to know more. And then they're going to respond back to me and they're going to say, oh my gosh, that was so incredible. Okay, listen, so I really would like to make an extra $500 a month. I would really like to pay for X, Y, and Z. And so they're telling me why they need Arbonne. And then it's really easy as the mentor and as the leader to be like, listen, I am telling you right now that if you let us take you by the hands, and then I just go in, I'm pouring passion and belief and excitement and enthusiasm and no matter what, and you can do this into that three-way group message. And guys, the thing is if I'm doing this on a voice message, it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter if you're in a parking lot somewhere. It's just a few short minutes. And so it's really flexible. And then also I want to give you guys another example. My team also sets this up in Facebook Messenger. They will also set this up in Instagram Messenger. And so I also will pull out my phone and you can actually send like little 15-second videos of yourself. And so I'll say, hey there, Beth, it's me, Whitney. I'm so excited to meet you. Yeah, gosh, like I've been building this business for 4 years now. I've replaced my income. I would love to give you some more information. Like, tell me a little bit more about you. What do you know about Arbonne? And they'll tell you. You just ask questions. They'll tell you what they know and they'll tell you what they want to know. And of course, I combat a lot of objections and hesitations, but the quicker you put them into the three-way group message with an upline who is more seasoned, more experienced, more used to overcoming those hesitations, not only are you going to learn how to overcome them as the new independent consultant, it's going to build up your confidence so that you can eventually one day do these on your own. But in the meantime, you don't have to worry about getting stuck in a conversation and scratching your head going, I don't even know where to go next. Because that can kind of make you feel tired when you first start. If you're like, but she said this and she had this hesitation and this hesitation, just like cut to the chase right out of the gate. So send a video and then say, I'm going to start you into a three-way group message with my friend. Send that initial message, and then however it takes place, just let it happen. Just let it be flexible. And my team doesn't ask me, are you going to send a video message or are you going to send a voice message? They just know they're going to get what they get depending on what my life looks like for that day. But typically you guys, sorry, let me find you again. Okay, typically you guys, I don't do a FaceTime or a three-way group message until they have signed up as an independent consultant. That's, again, just because of my lifestyle and everything that I have going on. However, I just had a girl chat like on my region huddle a couple weeks ago, and she promoted to area manager in 2.5 months, and she was telling me that she doesn't even give people prices to like a fit kit or how to sign up and start the business without doing a FaceTime video. So she'll send the initial message about, hey, you would be so great at Arbonne, or hey, you should check this out, whatever your initial message looks like. She'll send them a video, and the moment they say, yeah, I would love to know more, or hey, can you give me the price? She immediately pencils in a time to video chat or FaceTime with them that day or the next day. So she's like, yeah, I would love to give you some more info and some pricing on our 30 Days to Healthy Living, or I would love to tell you how to sign up and start a business. Can you FaceTime today at 2? So that's kind of your preference. in kind of which route you want to go. And I think just knowing that you can do it and be flexible about it in whatever fits your life and your schedule. Obviously, if you work a full-time job, you're not going to be able to say like, hey, can you FaceTime with me right now? Or can you FaceTime with me in the next 30 minutes? So plugging them in to an upline in a three-way group message who maybe has the flexibility to do that, you just want to get information in front of them ASAP. ASAP, because the longer the clock ticks and the more that the time lapses, the more they have time for fears and hesitations and doubt and all of those other things to creep in. So you just want to make sure that you're not prolonging getting information in front of them. And just think of it like exposures. It's just an exposure. So after the three-way group message, they may need another video. They may need another live. They may need an invite to another Discover Arbonne that you have locally coming up. They may need another invite to a coffee appointment. You still have to continue to get information in front of them, but it does speed up the process. And I have had people sign up immediately after just hearing my voice on three-way group messages. I've had people sign up immediately after sending voice messages. So it really just helps to speed it up, because now you're developing that trust. Like when people used to say it's hard to develop virtual relationships, it's not hard to develop virtual relationships if you're just real and you're raw about yourself. So Beth, is that kind of like what you wanted, or is there anything else you want me to touch on?
No, that's good. One of the things that you said is so you mentioned before talking about, was it Lauren? Is that her name? So that you usually don't do a video chat until after they've signed up, but you have those three-way conversations going on like crazy before.
Yes, exactly. So I am, like, for example, I have a girl on my team who's a district manager right now, and every day she's like plugging me into three-way group messages. Hey, Whitney, this is my friend Brittany. She just watched the video. She wants a little more info. And I always just briefly share my story. I mean, brief, like I'm talking 60 seconds brief. This is what's possible. I love sharing this business opportunity with people. And I always will end with just hope, guys, like so much hope. And if you need practice on this, you can go to the voice memo section on your phone and you can practice that. And actually, I have people on my team who will record a voice memo of them telling their story and talking about Arbonne, and they'll just send that one voice memo over and over. I personalize it to every single person that I talk to, because every single person I talk to is different. But yes, those three-way messages are happening for me and my team continuously. But when my district manager, Susie, says, hey, Brittany decided to sign up, this is our three-way group message we already have going on. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Like, when can we hop on a video chat? I would love to personally meet you. And that's when I take time out of my schedule to meet you face-to-face. If it's my own personal prospect, like if it's someone that I'm prospecting direct to me, then yeah, I'm going to be as personable as I possibly can. But as a regional vice president, I try and save those video chats for when they're in the door, they're signing up to start their own business. And I send a lot of voice messages for my team before that. If that makes sense.
Right. No, it makes perfect sense. And that was super helpful because one of the things, guys, that people get so bogged down about is time. And how do I have time to do this? How do I have this? And we can have and fill our day with so many of these types of scenarios. But one thing I just really just agree with Whitney 100% on all of it, but especially getting people into that three-way conversation. Back in the day, because I can say that now, back in the day, like when I joined Arbonne, like the other day on the Getting Started, I showed my address book that I've had for, 30 years. And that's what we were a slave to, was our address book. We did not have resources like this. So we were also a slave to somebody's schedule fitting for us to meet for coffee or come to a meeting. I mean, we did not have resources that could be working 24 hours for us, because you're going to have a prospect who might not be able to listen or check their message until you're in bed, and then they check it. You wake up the next morning, you have a message to send back. And so this gives us really a working business that's working around the clock. So we could fit and squeeze so many of these types of opportunities into our day. Guys, it just takes getting it in there. And here's the one thing that people always tell me: I don't want to bug my upline. Guys, we're giving you, I know all the area managers on this call and the VPs on this call, we're giving you permission to put us in as many three-way conversations as you possibly need to, because you're going to learn in that. And back in the day, we had to physically be with someone to be able to teach them. So if you're out there trying to figure this out all by yourself, then you don't have that opportunity to learn. And we want to help you succeed. And this is how we do it. Whether it's sending us screenshots of a conversation that's going on or getting us into a three-way conversation right away, this is just our opportunity to teach you. Because guess what happens, guys? Once you have that three-way conversation down, just like Whitney said, you're going to get to the point where you're able to do it yourself. You have that three-way conversation to go back to and go, what did she say when this happened? What did they say when, you know what I mean? Like it's like training at your fingertips for the rest of your business. And you can even copy and paste things and put them in your notes section. It's just things to refresh your memory. How did she overcome this obstacle and this obstacle? So does anybody have any questions? I know, Whitney, you got to jump off and get your kids, but I just want to see if anybody has